Good morning everyone, welcome back to Holmakra. Now this is episode 12 of the survival series. Hope you're all doing okay. Well, it's time. We are now in October. If I just bring up the HUD there, as you can see, first thing in the morning, 1st of October, and we have 2 fields of soybeans to harvest. The big one, finally, we're here. It's ready to go. So I'm just going to have a quick pop over here and show you it quickly before we get any machinery into the fields. There it is. Ready to harvest, finally. Expected yield 123% from this little patch anyway, so it's the big day. But first, there's one or two things I need to get sorted first. Again, if I just pop back over very quickly to just have a quick check on the animals. I'm pretty sure most of them are alright. The chickens have still got a good chunk of sorghum. Where are we? Food. Yeah, just under 5,500 litres, so they're fine for now. Still producing some eggs, which is wonderful. And we'll just have a quick check on the cows. I'm pretty sure, I think that it's time to sell the milk today. Today is the optimum time. Yeah, they're just under half full of food, so that's good. They're stocked up with water. 23 and a bit thousand litres of milk to sell. They're still alright for straw. They're producing slurry. Well, we're going to start. I'm at least going to need to take some of the slurry out of here and just leave it in the tank for now until I use it. And they have produced, goodness me, vast pile of poop, just under 40,000 litres. Brilliant. Right. So, but if I pop very quickly in, there we are, into the time-saving stock check mod, which is quite wonderful. As you can see there, highlighted in green, we're in October. Milk, 17,200, max value, 17,739 pounds. Oops, need to get that changed over. Where are we? Money unit. Euros, yep, that's right. So that'll be first things first. We shall jump in the, in fact I'll just we'll use this one for now. It's got a bit more oomph than the little red one. We shall hook up to the milk tanker and get that sold. Here it comes. Right, we shall get, I think we've probably got about 3, I want to say about 3, just over 3 tanks. I think this tank holds 7,500 litres and we had about 23 and a bit thousand, didn't we? Litres of milk. So, yeah, let's just jump in this and get the first one sold. See how much we get per tank. Going up nicely there, isn't it? $5,558 and 388 environmental score. So about 5,900 euros. That'll do. That will do. Right. So we'll get the next 2 sold. Get this job done and dusted out the way. Where am I going? Completely lost then. Yeah, we'll get this done. Get these last couple of tanks of milk sold, and we'll get down to the proper work, shall we? So I shall see you all shortly. While we're waiting for that milk to come back into and get sold, I just thought I'd keep you updated on the progress since the last episode. I did decide after the last episode that I was going to get that bigger field 8 of sorghum harvested. So I've done that. If I just very quickly jump into the field menu here, this one down here, field 8. This was sorghum. This was ready to harvest last month. So I've harvested it. I have been over it with the cultivator, the mulcher, the Landol 7431, and I have also been over it with a fresh coating of lime. So that's now ready to take another crop of seed. I'm not too sure what to put in there yet. I might put a winter wheat in for again for a bit of variety, but we shall see. I'm going to get down to that ASAP. But if I just pop over to the silo here now, you can see we now have 211,834 litres of sorghum. So we started with 67,362. That's what that's the literage that we got from this field here, and we've now got 211,834. So we got 144,472 litres from that big field, field 8. So what that does mean is that we have a huge backlog of food to keep the chickens fed, which is great. Again, I haven't decided on the numbers yet, but I'm going to... a huge quantity of this sorghum will be sold at the correct time. The chickens take 9,000 litres a time, basically. That's the total quantity of their trough. So, I mean, yeah, out of 211,000, if I kept, I don't know, 50,000 maybe, if I get 50,000 litres aside for the chickens and sell the rest, that would be pretty good. And again, if I just have a quick peek in the time-saving stock check, sorghum in total, we've got 111,128 worth of sorghum. So if I kept, what, a quarter, I don't know, 50,000 litres of that back, it's a good chunk of money. So, and that's to be sold in January. So that's obviously to come. Eggs, they're building up in quantity again. So come next month, we will sell whatever we've got of them and get as much money in as we can from them. Where are we? Yeah, I totted up the food of the cows and the chickens, actually, just before this episode. Right, let's get this thing back over here and get another tank of milk sent over. I haven't got an auto drive course set up for the tank of milk, just because it might be a little bit awkward with having to reverse into the shed here to get the trigger for the milk. So I'll just do this one manually. Let's get the lid open. Get it in there. That should be about right. Yep, there we go. Let's close the lid down. So that'll be tank 2, 8250 left. So yeah, so we'll get one more tank done out of this after this one, and see how much money that gives us. So we'll get this one sent over again to the, where are we? Silver on market. Off you go. Yeah, so both the grass fields are ready to be cut again for the second cut. There we go. So I'll get down to that as well once this once we've got the first harvest out of the big field here, so, field 1. I think the plan I'm going to try and stick to is that we'll get that field harvested, then we will send the harvester to field 4, which is the very little field next to over here, field 4. Yep, this one's ready to be harvested as well, but this one won't take very long whatsoever. So we'll get those two out the ground. The third field of soybeans, field 5, which is the great big one, this won't be ready to harvest till next month, so we've got a bit of a reprieve from doing 3 harvests in one day. So yeah, we've got that. There was a confusing thing, actually. I just thought I'd bring it to you guys' attention. If you remember in the last episode, when I harvested the oat field here, and then ran the cultivator and the mulcher in there, it was showing that weeds were growing. And I did exactly the same thing to this field. I harvested it, and the same thing happened in this field as well. So this was sorghum, and when I harvested it, it said that weeds were growing. So I bought that mechanical weeder, ran it in the field, and obviously the blue message disappeared, and before you know it, no more weeds were growing. In this field, I didn't get that. It was very strange. I harvested it. I was fully expecting to have to run the weeder and for the little blue message to pop up. The little blue message did pop up now and again, very intermittently, but I haven't done any weed picking. All I've done is use the cultivator and mulcher, the all-in-one Landol thing, the big blue thing, and then run the lime spreader, and there's no weeds. So I don't know whether I found a bit of a glitchy bug or whatnot. I'm not too sure, but as I say, there was no weeds growing. Obviously, when you when you go to this part of the menu here, if you have weeds growing, the field appears as green, doesn't it? Or varying stages of the green colours in the top right-hand corner there to say how severe the level of weeds are in your field and what implement you will need to remove them. But I haven't had that with this one, so it's a bit odd. I don't know. Anyway, right. So I shall shut up for now for a minute or two. We'll get all the milk sold, and you will join me again as I approach the combine harvester to get into the big field. Right, come on, let's get this done. Let's stop faffing, as George would say. Right, to the combine. Let's get it threaded through the trees. Now, as you can see there, I've hooked up the 1167 to the trailer. I know some of you might think it looks a bit daft, a great big tractor trailer like that, tractor on with that trailer attached to it, but I wanted the most powerful tractor I have to do this job, to run grain cart. Here we go. Right. Go on. This is the moment of truth, everyone. Or one of the many moments of truth. I want to firstly want to establish that the combine can harvest on sideways on an angle, and also cope with the very steep slopes. Now I do have I've got a course set up already. Oh, there we go. That seems to be doing okay. Alright, so there's the first waypoint. Oh, I think this is going to work, people. How exciting. Right, let's get this courseplay course on the way. And in fact, I need to just make sure that it's got the correct field set up there. There we go. Don't get me wrong, I know I'm not trying to get too overexcited too quickly, but that was my first concern, was that the harvester wouldn't necessarily harvest on such a steep angle, but that seems good. So let's nip back here and get the 1167 in here set up on its little auto drive course to pick up and take to the silo. And then we should be cooking on gas. Yeah, like I said, I wanted the most powerful tractor to do this job, because even when this trailer's full, I think it takes... the trailer actually takes the same as what the combine holds in its hopper. I think it's 18,000 litres. So with the weight of that, trying to pull up this hill, it needed to have as much horsepower as possible. So, right, let's went past it there, and again. Right, field 1. Tip at the farm silo. Wait for call. There we go. Excellent stuff. Let's have a quick flick to the harvester again. So we've got about an hour and 20 minutes ahead of us, according to courseplay, which will be a bit longer because there no doubt will be a few minutes of stopping and waiting for unload times and travel times in between the field and the silo. Not that it's too far, but here it is. It's working. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was incredible, if I don't say so myself. You know how much I've been harping on about getting a harvester into this field and seeing how it copes with it? Well, believe you me, it coped. There was one or two tiny little areas where the header didn't pick up any of the grain, and that was predominantly down at the bottom end of the field down there where the ground is actually a bit it's just a bit uneven. So there was literally, I'm not exaggerating, a couple of tiny spots. There was one or two areas on the uphill rows up here where it just missed literally a couple of grains width for maybe a quarter of the length of the row, and that was it. It's powered through this, absolutely battered it, so I'm well chuffed. There's not a single stalk of soybean left in this field now. I did tidy up a couple of the tiny bits around the edge before I finished, before I've started recording this little snippet video, but honestly, that was mega. So, right, the 1167 is just gone to the silo to tip the last bit of grain out of this field. And we are going to get this one straight to work into field 2. Not field 2, goodness me, field 4, the other one. Down near the bigger of the two the oat field that we harvested the other day, the one that has now got some canola in. So we shall get the header onto the header trailer, and in fact, let me just bring up the HUD and just check. Yeah, he's got plenty of fuel. He's used half a tank of fuel doing this job. Which is quite incredible. He's obviously used a lot more fuel working his way up the hills. But yeah, honestly, that was brilliant. I'm so happy that it was something that has been playing on my mind, I'll be honest, for quite a while, thinking, oh, I've done all this work and I've bought this harvester, spent hundreds and hundreds of thousands of euros on this harvester, to find out that I'll get in the big main field and it won't do anything. But it worked. Over the moon. So we shall send this one now over to field 4, the little soybean field. Get that one cleared. I'm not going to film that or montage that or anything like that, because it really won't take that long. So there we are, field 4. Off you go. While we're here, I shall just jump out and show you. There we are. 114,999 litres of soybeans came out of that field. So that's a pretty good yield. If we pop ourselves into the yield map. There we are. Yeah. All of the fields so far. This is the one we're just about to go and harvest here now. And this one here, another field of soybeans. That's not going to be ready to harvest till next month. But all of the fields that we have harvested something in, whether it's grass or cereal crop, have all got a nice, decent yield information map there, so I'm pretty chuffed with that. Seed rate, obviously, as we know, we've seen these ones before. This is going to need, obviously we're going to need to do a little bit of work in this field now before we put another crop into it. And while we're here, again, October time, which we're in now, we could put a wheat and a barley down. We shall see. We'll see what we're going to put into this next field. So, right, anyway, I shall shut up and I'll join you back when the smaller of the soybean fields is all done and we're back over here at the farm. So, I'll see you all shortly. Right, that's it. We're done. We've got field 4 harvested. You'll have to forgive me. I've just been spending far too much time OCDing all my tractors and trailers. I got everything back. We've got field 4 harvested, and obviously the soybeans are in the silo. We'll pop over there in a second. And I got everything back, and there was just a few tractors and bits and bobs sitting around here. So I just thought, oh, let's have a bit of a tidy up. 40 minutes later. I've decided to just park a few things in a few different places, so I've called this like the trailer shed kind of thing. So I've managed to get 5 of them in here. This has been filled with slurry, that has been filled with manure, ready to rock and roll when we need them. Everything's had a clean, if it was dirty, that is. I have put the liquid tankers, both of them, the water and the milk tankers, in here, just because it's nice and tidy. Who doesn't like a tidy farm, eh? I've popped the pickup truck and the gooseneck trailer behind the smaller of the garage doors here, and obviously all the tractors are in a nice neat row, nice and clean, and the 1167 is parked over here, and everything in this workshop has been repaired, so I've spent a few euros on getting it repaired. And over here again, the combine's home, been washed, everything's been washed and repaired, and parked up in here again till that'll be used again next month. And obviously all the other implements have just been neatly parked against the wall as they were before. But yeah, I thought it'd only take me a couple of minutes. Yeah, 40 minutes later. So anyway, enough of that faffing about. Let's what do I need to do? Let's have a quick pop into the map. So obviously field 1 is now been harvested, field 4 is harvested, that's growing, this is grass, and that is grass, and that's actually ready to be mowed. That's ready to be drilled. This one's going to be harvested next month, and obviously field 1 and field 4 are now ready to be mulched, so I think that's what I might crack on with now. I think what I'm going to do, oh yeah, pop over to the silo and just show you the numbers again after the small harvest of soybeans. We are at 135,234 litres of soybeans. Now all of that is for profit, for selling, and the soybeans are at their highest price in June, so we've got a bit of time to wait for that. But it's coming nonetheless. Yeah, the grass. Now we've got, where are we? 295,281 litres of hay in here, and all I'm using hay for at the minute is obviously to top up the feed mixer when I'm obviously making feed. So there's plenty of hay in here. So at the minute, I think I can sacrifice a tedding of hay and essentially just get both grass fields mown and windrowed and picked up and stuck into the fermenting silo. Because if we pop into the, where are we here? Yeah, silage, right. So we've got no grass. We've got 294,000 litres of silage, but we have no grass in there making its way into silage. So I think what I might do, because we will obviously get another cut of grass out of this. We've already had one. This will be the second one, and we'll have a third one after it. So I think this second harvest cut, I'm just going to treat it all as grass. Just get it mown, get it windrowed, get it picked up, and get it all fermenting into there. So we have a huge backlog of, or hopefully have a good backlog of silage as well. So yeah, it's only 12:30 in the afternoon, so I'm not going to knock it in the head yet. We've got plenty of work to do. There's plenty of time left, plenty of work to do. So I think I'm going to get this to work in the fields with the mulcher, the cultivator mulcher, the Landol 7431. So we shall get this hooked up nicely here. Now that it's all been nice and clean, let's get it dirty again. There we go, that should be about right. So, there, and there. Should just squeeze out of here nicely. Ooh, made a right hash of that, haven't I? There we go. Right, we'll do the big one first. Again, just gone on autopilot, haven't I? The big one's this way this time. So used to going out of the farm that way that I forgot to go the right way. Right, so we'll get a course play set up for this one. Slow down, slow down, slow down. There we go. Right, course play. Where are we? Create job. Yep. Open generator, headlands, longest edge. No, we will go with manual so it faces north-south. I think that should do. Generate field course. This one might take... Oh no, that was quite quick. Okay. Yeah, that'll do. In fact, yeah, no, that'll do. So field 1, save course as Landol 7431 disc arrow. There we go. Job's a good one. Bring up that first waypoint, should be almost right in front of us. Yep, off you go. Excellent. Now, in fact, let's just give this a second or two. And then when he's off on his way, I'm just going to check the... There you go. This one's not giving me any weeds growing either. There we go. Field info, harvested, weed growing. No weed growing. Interesting. But it was the opposite way. Well, not the opposite way around, but the last time when we first got this implement out into field 3 after the oat harvest, there was weeds growing after the cultivator. Oh well. Anyway, I'm glad it's not growing. That's the main thing. It's one less job to do. So, what's next? We want to get the grass mowed, don't we? So I think that is prime job for the class Axion, as all the mowing setup is class equipment, so just looks the best, doesn't it? So let's jump in the Axion. Where are you? There we are. Yeah, we should be alright for fuel, I think. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. And get you hooked up to the mowers. Now, I do hope I've given myself enough room in here. Tried to be neat. But I reckon if I will get the front loaded on first. There we go. Hopefully should do. Yep. Fingers crossed. Yes, right, excellent. Right. Done. Let's get busy. Right. Mower's up and running. There we go. Excellent. And I have only just figured out, somehow confusingly, how to change the work mode of the rear mower setup from widespreading to swath dropping. Even though it makes no difference, I'll still be running the windrower around here just to make one, just obviously for the sake of being able to pick up and use the forage trailer as well. I suppose it just looks a little bit neater, I guess, doesn't it? So we'll leave that one to work. We've got the 1167 working away in field 1 now, getting that field ready for the next drilling. So I shall see you all in a wee while. There we go. There's the mowing all done. And it does look a heck of a bit neater than it did in the last time, if I remember correctly. The last time I had the mower set to just wide spreading, I think it was called, so it just left it as a big mess on the ground, I guess. But swath dropping, yeah, nice, neat and tidy, just as we like it. So, right, let's get this equipment taken off the class here, and we'll get the windrower hooked up. We'll get all that done. In fact, we'll get it rowed and foraged and picked up and put into the fermenting silo. Get all that done in one go, pretty much. Well, as far as you guys are concerned, anyway, it'll be done. So we're going to be needing this again anyway, because we need to do field 7, the big field on the hill. So let's select the rear tool. I don't think I can fold this out, can I? So there we go. And we'll spin around, drop the front one off. We can lower this one down there. Right, there we go. So, windrower. Excellent stuff. Now what we can do here is, for the sake of being slightly lazy, we can clear that course and we can select the windrow, bale and forage course. Yep, so field 6, course play, off you go. And that should, if I'm not mistaken, take itself to field 6. Just get started. So, yep, I shall pick you guys back up very shortly when the windrowing is all done and when the forage wagon is done, picking it all up and chucking it into the fermenting silo. So, catch you all soon. Right, there we go everyone. Let's just turn that engine off. That bug's back again. There's another one of me. Right, yes, all done. So we've mowed and rowed and foraged this grass field over here, and we've now stuck it all into the fermenting silo. And if I just pop into the menus, into the productions, there we go. It's been activated for a wee while, so obviously the amount of grass has already ticked down a bit, but we're currently at 480,331 litres of grass, and 308,592 litres of silage, and counting up. So that's all good. Now, as you can see as well, the 1167 is back at the farm. That has completed its mulching work in fields 1 and 4. I'll just pop down to field 1 down here. It battered through this field, it really did. It's all looking good, and again, this field doesn't have the weed growing message, which is again nice and pleasant. One less job to have to do, but it does need a good coat of lime and a good coat of nitrogen as well, but we'll do that depending on what crop goes in. So yeah, this one's ready for another crop. We'll have to figure out what to put in here, and the same again with the little field 4 that's over there somewhere. That's pretty much the same state now. So yeah, a busy day, a pleasing day. I'm really happy that, as you might have been aware, that the combine coped extremely well in field 1 there on the slopes. Good job, well done, and a good yield as well. Really happy with that. So, and I'm also quite happy with my tidying up of the farm, so to speak, with my my clean tractors and trailers and implements and stuff, although this tractor and the mulcher needs a clean, as does the Axion and the forage wagon. But I do still have the other hilly field, the other grass field, field 7, that needs to be mowed, rowed and foraged and brought back over here. So that's something we'll probably get down to in the next episode, amongst other things. So yeah, I guess I'm going to knock it in the head for today's episode, guys. So thank you so much for watching. As always, I really appreciate your time watching my videos. I really hope you've enjoyed it and found it even remotely interesting. If you have, as always, leave me a comment, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, if you like my content and you'd like to see more. Yeah, so thanks guys, I'll see you in the next one.